Ooh, tricky.
Why threes?
I just think come in threes. It's a good number.
And then after that, you're just like, okay, no more. It doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd work with them in every movie.
And a good role of comedy.
Yeah.
We have a special guest. I know, I would run away. You'd see like a cloud.
We have talked about Nicolas Cage's Renfield before on this channel, where he gets to play Dracula himself. And while we got to see him in other projects like Ghost Rider, National Treasure, and Con Air in 1997, today we'll be focusing on his newest project and all of the times he messed up behind the camera while filming, had a few jokes during interviews, and everything in between.
Marble egg enthusiast, which,
Yeah.
No, is that assuming like marbles? Is that what that is?
You know, just like marble the stone.
Oh.
But just eggs. They're not interested. I think when I was a kid, I thought they were like maybe hatched dragons or something, so I liked them, and I had a little collection. Oh, thank you, yeah.
But before we get into more of these moments, some trivia for you. What was Nicolas Cage's first project that he worked on that he won an award? Leave your guesses in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
He had this mid-Atlantic accent, and he spoke with distinction, you see, Nicholas. And I thought, okay, that's perfect, because he's a literature professor, and this Dracula should sound like him.
Oh my gosh, this had to be just a satisfying character
It
for
was
you to
very
portray.
satisfying.
We can appreciate this moment between Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult.
First of all, guys, can we just acknowledge the mugs? I wasn't going to start with this, but this is phenomenal.
I've got
These old things?
Yeah, I got
Where
Nick's,
do I get these?
I don't.
Mugs without mugs.
Yeah, I got Nick's mug in color on my mug, and he's got my mug.
I
in black
need this
and
in my
white.
home immediately.
This is my favorite mug.
There was one scene where Cage had to eat a live cockroach, but he explained that he did it because he gets that into character, however he did regret it. This wasn't in this project, but back in a 1988 comedy, Vampire's Kiss.
The cockroach is worse than a potato bug,
Did you
I
think?
think. I don't know, I didn't, because the cockroaches I got to eat in this were caramel.
Oh, but he ate a real potato bug.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying to me. And so are cockroaches.
Right.
I'll never do that again.
Yeah, the
I'm
one
sorry
time.
I did it at all.
And after it was revealed that Hoult ate a potato bug for this role, he gives his take on how he handled it as well as what else he ate.
I had crickets that were actually quite yummy. They were like salt and vinegar flavored or like barbecue smoky flavor. They were fine. The potato bug didn't dry out so good, and that tasted every bit of bug.
But if you could get rid of your fear, your phobia of eating insects, you could solve world starvation.
And if we take a look at the behind the scenes stunts that Hoult had to do for this project, eating bugs was the least of its problems.
Got it? Yeah, I got it. Did that kick again? One.
Three, two, one, go!
In the past, Universal has had a tough time creating successful monster movies, and with Nicolas Cage being the star of this film, there are a handful of moments sprinkled throughout director Chris McKay's Renfield that are so inspired and ridiculous in a good way that you can kind of understand why Universal greenlit the project.
After working with him on Renfield, how likely is it that Nicolas Cage is Count Dracula?
Very likely.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that's dressed in the color of blood.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to say any of that. I want to double down on what Dracula believes. Hail Satan. and wrote this line that was just so perfect for that moment.
Many fans and critics came to Cage's defense in playing this character. Robert Kirkman is responsible for coming up with the idea of this whole story, so I guess we can give him credit for starting the idea of an abusive boss who just so happens to be a powerful vampire.
The first film I did in America was a film called The Weatherman, and I played his son in that.
You played his son?
Yeah.
What was he like as your movie dad?
He was great from what I remember, but also I was like 14, so it's all just a bit of a blur. It seems normal, but also clearly it's not. It's Nicolas Cage.
Nonetheless, Nicholas Hoult and Cage have said in the past that they enjoyed playing these characters. We can take a look at this moment during an interview where Hoult explained when he had called Cage in the middle of the night.
Hello?
Nick, are you sitting down or are you standing up?
Well, I'm actually lying down. It's so early in the morning.
I'm so sorry for waking you up. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I was up anyway. I was just surfing some net.
With this film, of course, the genre includes comedy, and the director, Chris McKay, had to leave one hilarious scene out of the movie, and he's come to regret it. And in one interview, he tells us just what that was.
I just saw him in the menu and I called him. I thought that was
very nice.
That was fantastic. I thought that was one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie all year. He was amazing in it. And him with Fiennes, magnificent performance.
You know what we should be saying? What? The Weatherman, the film that we did.
The vampire hunters are attacking Dracula's castle, and Dracula, instead of going via telepathy, he comes in the door to Renfield's bedroom to wake Renfield up.
Of course you can call me an actor. And by the way, I never said don't call me an actor, call me a thespian. That's what Clickbait Universe were doing, put out there, and somehow it got picked up by CNN. I'm not sure how it got picked up by CNN. I'm sure they have more important things to report on.
And while Dracula is having a normal conversation about, I need you to do this, Renfield, and that, there's a vampire hunter just continuously stabbing Dracula in the back during the entire normal conversation, which I thought was such a funny scene, he said.
She came up to me, like beckoned toward me and was like, Nora, come here. And I was like, okay. And so I like, and then she like whispers into my ear, she's like, did you know that toilet seat covers are also an oil blotter for your face? And I was like, why did you call me off of set to whisper this to me? And I never saw her again.
Overall, these two had a lot of fun playing these characters and even revealed that they would be up for another project after Renfield together.
Yeah.
We'd love to work together again, so that's it.
Yeah, that's my thing, right? Like, your guys' chemistry was so amazing. You know, when you walk away from something like that, how hard is it to not say, hey, let's start another project right away, because it worked out so well.
I mean, right off the get-go, I was saying, this is the second one. We did The Weatherman together.
But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page, linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow.
Fun fact, Nicolas Cage didn't know that he was filming. He's just doing what he does every day.
I hope he can still look at himself in the mirror after this performance. I don't know. Something I try to avoid every morning.
If Renfield 2 does get the green light, it's imagined it will be in 2025 before we actually see the film. As far as if there is actually going to be a sequel to this film, McKay did mention that he does see a future with it, but don't get your hopes up too soon. However, it isn't completely ruled out.
It was wild. The stunt team were incredible. They taught me to do backflips and all this incredible wire work. But I didn't get hurt doing any of the fight sequences. I got hurt, I went home for Christmas, I picked up a box of water and one of the glass bottles fell out onto my toe. Directly onto the toe. The nail came off, I couldn't walk. I was in absolute pieces.
But as of now, there aren't any talks about it. More than likely, Universal wants to wait it out and see if it's actually worth it to continue with the franchise and how much this film will make in the box office.
Oh my gosh! Dude, how are you?
Oh, how sweet! It's a reunion. It's a friendly one. Do you guys like hang out at school?
Yeah, we were in this basketball team together.
Oh,
and
nice.
We did GCSE drama together, and as you can tell,
You
one of
guys
us,
played basketball together.
well,
Yeah, shoot some
Nicholas
hoops.
played basketball. I very much sat on the bench.
Right.
It was a little bit of a struggle having to balance horror and comedy, and that plays a part in some of the reviews saying that it wasn't that well of a film. But that's due in part of what had to happen in order for the film to make sense.
My mum is trying to stop me from fangirling over how hot Nicholas Hoult looks. F off. I guess. Is that the f off to your mum? Don't say that to your mum. That's not nice. Let's get your mum on board. Come on, join in, mum.
Of course, we can talk about the next project coming up for Cage. After being forced to drive a mysterious passenger at gunpoint, a man finds himself in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where it becomes clear that not everything is as it seems.
This was like my first audition when I was 5 for a film. They said, sit under a table and pretend to eat cake. And I was like, well, that is so easy. And so I did that, and I got the part. And I was like, and so I think eating and acting has always been synonymous for me since then. Probably why I end up doing like the menu and...
Seems like a pretty interesting story. Interestingly enough, for this film, Nicolas Cage is listed as the second cast member with his character name as the passenger.
I wish that any good deed I ever have done be struck from my karmic record. And then he added the bit of like, I want to enjoy a season in hell where all the amusing people are. Yeah.
Seeing as how the film is 3 months away from its theatrical release, it's not clear as to why he and Joel Kinnaman don't have names for the film, as even he is named as the driver. Maybe it will make more sense once the film finally releases.
I was intimidated working with you for the first time. I was 14, first time coming to America to work on a film. It was you, and I was like, and even the second time round, I'm like, probably because as a 14-year-old, you kind of like don't fully understand everything that you would.
Sure.
Chris McKay and Robert Kirkman jump into the conversation of how the Dracula character was pulled off and even compared to Gary Goldman, who was known for the Dracula movie in 1992.
As we were talking about what Dracula should look like just in general, you know, for me, I wanted to synthesize stuff, whether it was the Bela Lugosi, the Christopher Lee, I wanted, you know, Gary Oldman.
And in terms of the answer to our trivia question, in 1996, he won for the category of Best Actor in the project Leaving Las Vegas.
Blown out my voice singing Purple Rain by Prince incorrectly in karaoke bars. So now I have a very kind of shrieking punk rock gravel to my voice, but I think that might lend itself to Pontius Pilate.
So what do you guys think about all these moments? Which one was your favorite, and what are your thoughts on this film, assuming you have seen it already? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
I would totally lick Nicholas Hoult's asshole to test if it was delicious. For no other reason. For no other reason, just to make sure. There's no other purpose for that, surely.